Hey
Hi,
guys,
everybody.
Jordan and Sheldon here from the NFA. We're doing another episode of the NFA Talk, and we got some good stuff for you tonight. Not only that, we are doing the draw for the T-shirt contest that we had. Hey Sheldon, how's it going?
Really well, Jordan. How are you out there?
I'm doing great.
Spectacular. It's been a busy weekend for me. I was working the Biathlon BC Championships as a technical delegate down at Mount Washington. Great venue, really good time. Really great to see all these young people getting out there shooting and skiing and having fun in a wonderful environment. But we should probably talk about politics. That's a lot more dreary, but probably of more interest to our viewers.
Well, what's really interesting is they haven't done anything with the gun ban yet.
No, it's all been just virtue signaling and paper tiger talk. They've made all kinds of claims. We've heard lots of rumors. We've had some inklings that maybe they're going to be looking at prohibiting different parts of firearms, like uppers and so on, for ARs. But we haven't seen anything concrete yet. And my take on it, Jordan, and you have an idea about this as well, is that perhaps what they're going to try to do is they're going to have to tie this to a budgetary item. And I think what's going to happen is they're not going to be able to do any orders in council without having a money bill to go along with it. And I think what we'll see there is a big money bill that's a lot of people will have a problem with, could force an election, and then they'll make this whole thing an election issue. And I think they actually naively believe they can win on this in an election, and I think they're terribly mistaken.
Absolutely. There's also rumors going around that they don't have the money to support this.
Well, what the federal government will always try to print money, but I think what the issue about money is that the political parties don't have the money to run an election. I think the only ones that have funds in place to run an election would be the Conservatives. It's certainly the Greens and the Bloc and the NDP are not that flush, and the Liberals probably aren't either. Although I noticed that their spending was up there the same with the Conservatives. They certainly capped out at the Election Canada limits, and I should when I'm talking about that, I wanted to just give a big shout out to Charlie Zatch, who's working so hard for all of us out there in Ottawa. Uh,
Absolutely.
he's he's been doing a great job doing his lobbying activities. I think the reports there are showing that he's hit just about every leadership candidate. I think he's gotten them all now, or maybe one more that he needs to see, and they're all getting our message. And all of the approved candidates for the leadership of the Conservative Party have now been given our questionnaire, and it's a six question questionnaire, and it's very direct, mainly yes or no answers with an opportunity to comment. And I can just tell the viewers what it is if they're interested. And the first question is: do you support the removal of non-victim, non-violent firearms offenses from the criminal code? That's pretty straightforward. Do you want to take administrative law out of the criminal code, basically affecting firearms ownership? That should be an easy yes for most of them. And the second question is: do you support a repeal of firearm legislation which has not provided any evidence of benefit to public safety? And we were very specific in this question. We said including former bills C-71 of 2019, C-42 of 2015, C-68 of 1995, C-17 of 1991, and C-51 of 1997. That one ought to get a bit of a conversation going. We asked for comments about that question. The third question we asked is: do you support a complete review of the Firearms Act and related regulations with a view to protecting the right of firearms owners to enjoy the use of their private property? That's probably an easy question for most Conservative candidates to respond yes to. The next question is going to be a little bit more of an issue, I think, for some of them, given current Conservative Party policy. And the fourth question we have is: do you support the elimination of the firearms classification system so as to return the ability of firearms owners to freely use, buy, sell, trade, inherit, and pass on to heirs all of their firearms property? This is basically the anti-theft question. Do you support the government ripping off people's property by classifying it and increasingly using this classification system to eliminate firearms? it'll be interesting to see how that's responded to. And then the fifth question, do you support the entrenchment of property rights in Canadian law? This is a hot button issue. It should be an easy one for Conservatives to respond yes to, but it has bigger ramifications, and I hope that they are intelligent enough to look into the research material and figure out exactly what the ramifications that will be, especially for firearms owners. And our last question is another straightforward one. Do you agree that ownership and use of firearms for protection is a civil right, notwithstanding any court interpretations that say otherwise? And again, this is a yes/no question with an opportunity for people to respond in a general way. So the candidates are going to be put into a bit of a box here. They have a series of very straightforward questions. Some of them have said they're with us, they support us, but they're very, very fuzzy on specifics. And answering these questions will really push them out into the open as to where they stand and whether they're with us or against us.
Awesome. So I guess we got Robert Bracken here ready to join the stream with us.
Oh, great. Always good to hear from the Maritimes. How are things out in the Atlantic provinces there, Robert?
Right. Apparently their internet's not that great.
I see a very slow moving picture. Anyway, there he is. Hi, Robert. Well, he's getting on.
I don't think he's got the speed for us tonight.
What's that?
I don't think he's got the internet speed for us tonight.
Probably not. Anyway, notwithstanding all of that, I think things are moving along well for us. Like I said earlier, our lobbying efforts are going quite well. We are doing a pretty strong job in questioning our CPC leadership candidates. Charles' efforts with lobbying have been going very, very well. We're setting a very strong and positive message out there. And I know when I was speaking in Calgary just almost 2 weeks ago now, I was able to meet Dr. Lewis, one of the candidates, and she had just met Charlie just a few days before, and she was very interested in what we had to say about firearms rights, and she was very, very concerned that her policy would be something that would be acceptable to firearms owners. So
Right.
that's a good thing.
So, Shell, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I just want to tell our viewers that if you comment on Facebook, we can see it and we'll put it on the screen and we will answer your questions.
Certainly.
We got one already.
Okay, so, all right. So, yeah, we had some thumbs up on that one. Thanks, Janice. And anyway, I also wanted to just give a little post-mortem about the election. I mean, we have been looking at the analytics on how the election went, and our analysts are telling us that we made a significant difference in at least 8 seats and probably as many as 12. And we certainly played a role in the 20 that we had targeted. So it wasn't enough to do anything about ending Trudeau as government, but we certainly stopped him from having a majority. And I think we're all to be very proud of that. There was a fair bit of team effort and cooperation with the groups, CSSA and us, in terms of making sure that we were moving forward a positive message and getting out that message to ensure that Canadian firearms owners knew where their friends were.
Yeah, I think we'd be in hot water right now if they had a majority.
Well, this would all be done, and that's why I think they're going to try to make this an election issue and then get a real mandate to try to go forward with these firearms bans. So it's going to behoove all of us to make sure that we get out a very strong vote and ensure the defeat of the Trudeau Liberals the next time around. Otherwise, we're all going to be really in a great deal of trouble.
Nick Warren says, do you know, guys, if they're removing caliber restrictions for varmint hunting in Nebraska?
In New Brunswick?
New Brunswick, sorry.
Yeah, well, that's a good question, Nick, but things like caliber restrictions for hunting are in the purview of the province. So that's not something that's directly in what we do. I know that there are movements in the Atlantic provinces to end things like the ban on hunting on Sundays, and there are some issues over varmint hunting restrictions, but those are things to take up with your member of the Legislative Assembly. I haven't heard specifically if the government in New Brunswick is going to move forward with that. I think it would be a good thing, but every province has their own challenges with hunting regulations, and that's something that's out of the purview of the federal firearms legislation. But certainly, the best way to get that kind of a change is for the persons affected to take it forward to their elected representatives. That's what I would recommend on it. That's a good question.
Also, for everybody that's been getting our emails, attached to it is the TACCOM link. You can get your early tickets. You save 15% off it. Click on that. Show your support. Show that you're buying through the NFA.
Absolutely. The other thing too, of course, is our annual general meeting is coming up in Quebec this year, and that's at the end of May, the weekend of the 29th of May. I hope we see a strong contingent. We're working very hard to get a debate of CPC leadership candidates going there, and we'll keep you posted as to what's happening with that. It's certainly important for them to be talking about the Firearms Act regulations and what their position as leader will be to take forward to the party. There's lots of concern out there about whether the party apparatus is listening to the grassroots for the Conservatives, and we want to make sure that our grassroots voices are heard moving forward on any policy decisions. I do want to make a bit of a shout out to Bob Zimmer, who was visiting the Rod and Gun Club that I'm a member of in Prince George on Monday night. It was our annual general meeting election, and he gave a very spirited and enthusiastic talk in his role as the outdoor caucus chair. And I want to thank Bob for coming to that meeting and giving us a bit of an update. It was well received.
Very good. So what do you think? Should we do this draw, or do we want to make them wait a little bit longer?
Let's do the draw. Let's make some people happy and make other people unhappy, I guess.
All right. So if you were not aware of it, the draw was for this guy right here, the HKSL8-5. It's non-restricted. It's like a offset of the G36. Great rifle, chambered in 223. So I've got, I don't know if everybody can see this. I got the no compromise tooth, and I've got all the numbers in there.
I'm not able to see it from my vantage, Jordan, but hopefully the viewers out there in the audience can.
I hope they can too. I don't know. All the numbers are in there. Well, you'll see anyways when I pull one out. Not gonna look.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Okay, I only want to take one here. All right. We have 1058972.
105. Read it again, please.
1058972.
1058972. Right on.
Perfect. Congratulations. So somebody from the head office will be contacting you shortly, and hopefully we can get a presentation of us giving you this rifle.
Somebody's going to be very, very happy to have won this. It's
it's HK quality, great rifle, shoots great. So somebody's going to be really lucky.
Well, it's like I always say, if it goes boom, I like it, Jordan.
And now we have to talk a little bit about the big gun contest that we got going on. If you guys don't have your tickets, it's a GM6 50 cal semi-automatic mag fed.
The Lynx.
Great firearm. I've shot one. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, beautiful rifles. I handled one at TACCOM for the first time. Had a really good look at it. Light, handy. For a 50 caliber, it's one you can shoot from the shoulder. I think it's a real beaut. And what's all included with that prize package, Jordan?
I believe we include a bunch of rounds and a scope and everything, so you're pretty much ready to go right to the range.
Is there rings but no scope, or did we leave a scope off this one? I thought we didn't have a scope.
You got me on that
having
one.
a look. We got to check the paperwork. But it's a great package. I mean, if someone wants to hand me a links, I'm happy to.
Well, I'll tell you that the retail value on that gun alone is well over $15,000.
Yeah, it's really come up.
So tickets are or donations are $50, and
make a donation.
Get you in there.
Yeah, make a donation. You're entered into the draw. It'll be done just before TACCOM. Hopefully, we have a new draw in place by then, so we can show people some more fun and exciting prizes to win.
Right, and we love your feedback. If you guys want to look for a new gun for us, give us suggestions.
Sure, always appreciated.
We'd love to hear from you.
Couple other things people might be interested in is we've got some other events coming up in June and in August. We've got some meetings at the United Nations on the Arms Trade Treaty and the Program of Action on Small Arms and Light Weapons. We are going to have to be quite vigilant there. As everyone knows, the United Nations is a club of its members, and the member that represents Canada is certainly causing problems for firearms owners at the UN. They very, very clearly have an agenda, and we've got to make sure that we're there to challenge that agenda. It's become apparent that the National Firearms Association is one of the strongest voices worldwide at the United Nations. We're out there, we're saying what needs to be said, we're challenging these petty dictators in their countries, and we're taking our country and other countries to task for their offensive anti-civil their anti-civil rights agenda, their civil disarmament agenda. We're challenging them on this, and I know they're very uncomfortable with us doing that. And
we'll be there making friends.
Yeah, and we're going to have a strong contingent in New York City in June to be taking that message home. We want to make sure that that people see that the National Firearms Association is there. We're showing up, and we're doing what needs to be done to turn this mess around.
Awesome. Well, should we leave it at that for tonight, or
that sounds great, Jordan.
We covered a lot. AGM's coming up, TACCOM's coming up. Check the NFA emails. Click on that link. Get your early tickets.
And I hope everyone's reading their magazine. I know Al Voth and his team are doing a great job in producing Canada's premier firearms magazine with the Canadian Firearms Journal. Articles are great. Pictures are great. We've got a lot of award-winning content in there. And it's very much a great source of information. So I hope members are picking up their journals. And if you're not a member of the National Firearms Association yet, please take out a membership. It's your efforts, it's your membership that inspire people like myself and Jordan and Charlie and everybody else who are in leadership roles to keep doing what we do. And the donations, all of this, we try to put it to good use. We put around $63,000 into targeted advertising with Elections Canada. I think we're the only firearms organization that so far has reported what they've spent. I haven't seen any other accounts of reports on that, but we certainly stepped up, and we've tried to make a difference. And I want to thank you out there for everything you've done to make that possible.
Yes, we couldn't have done it without them.
Absolutely not. Our folks out there making those donations and realizing that for the price of a box of ammunition, you can get involved with an organization that's protecting your rights.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's probably good then, Jordan. Thanks very much for having me on again.
All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, who tuned in, and have yourselves a good night.
All the best.